All right, Ryan, let's do this.
Yeah. Have you been listening right before the pod?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you've been locked in.
Fuck it, I'm ready. Fucking ready, buddy.
I could tell.
So, Ryan, show today. First of all, the big news that everyone's talking about. Don
Sean
Lemon.
McDermott.
No. Well, locally, that's what everyone's talking about. But nationally, that is also what people are talking about. And sure, we could talk about that. But the thing people in our space is talking about, Ryan, is not Sean McDermott. It is, in fact, which is bullshit. It's terrible firing. It is Don Lemon's church protest, Ryan. We're gonna play
the gay black guy.
Yeah, yes, sir. We're gonna play a few clips, tell all sides of the story, and see where it lies. The Florida Speech Police. We got to get into this. We have to talk about why everyone is obsessed with Nick Fuentes' virginity. It's getting to the point where it's weird.
He hasn't come from a woman.
What's up?
He's a virgin.
Yeah, he's actually super public about it.
No.
He's a man of the Lord, right?
That's
what he says.
So
Epstein,
virgin never jerked off.
Well, I don't know about all that, but yeah,
only jerks off. Virgin only jerks off.
I cannot confirm nor deny his jerking. Epstein file update. Spoiler alert: there's no update. Jeremy at the Quartering. I don't know if you've heard of this person before. He's got a bigger show. I'm not gonna. Yeah, like he's got notoriety, but he's like in this like pissing match and threatening lawsuits and stuff. It's kind of pathetic. We'll talk about that. RFK Jr.'s. He had a couple strange thoughts about Trump's diet, and I saw a video, and I'll admit, I'm fairly sure it's satire, or at least half satire. If it makes sense, I still want to talk about it because it's. When I say it's, I guess when we get into it, we'll get into it. But it's, I call it half satire for a reason. With that said, Ryan, where would you like to start today?
Virginity.
You want to talk about Nick Fuentes' virginity?
Yeah, nutsack. First on the program.
So he is. Let's go far back, Ryan. Drop my pen. Let's go far back. And by far back, not that far back. Nick Fuentes has been extremely public about the fact that he wants to remain a virgin until marriage. Okay. Notably, Steven Crowder also did this, and he was also mocked for this. But let's not forget, Nick Fuentes and Steven Crowder noted their religion as part of the reason for this. To me personally, I literally couldn't care less if Nick Fuentes ever has sex in his life. It really doesn't bother me one way or the other. Critics will say he doesn't have sex with women because he's gay. I again can't confirm nor deny.
Well, that was still whether or not he's gay or not. Like,
yeah,
being a virgin is fucking.
He's very specifically said he has not had sex with a woman.
Oh, so maybe he is gay.
Maybe he does leave the door open for the fact that he's had sex with a man. I have no idea. Again, I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less if he's never had sex with a woman and had sex with 100 men. It really doesn't matter to me.
He Bonnie Blued, but for guys.
1,000 guys in 24 hours.
1,000 blowjobs.
I really don't know. But it is getting to the point.
Dude, how many guys is that a minute to fuck 1,000 guys?
It's not that crazy, right?
I don't know.
60 minutes in an hour, right? There's plenty of time for 1,000. Yeah,
fuck a guy a minute.
Yeah, plenty of time for 1,000.
There's that one guy gets greedy,
but he's going in for 2. It is the fact that I keep seeing posts about it online that makes me wonder, why is their obsession with his virginity? Now, it has come up yet again because him. I'm going to try to get all the people right. I know the Tates are involved, so Andrew and Tristan Tate were there. Fuentes was there. Sneeko was there. Myron Gaines was there. And that other fucking guy who just came out of nowhere, and I don't remember, he ran some over with his car. What the fuck's his name? Claviclear or some shit. I don't know if you've heard of this person before. He literally just came out of fucking nowhere. Like, he's all over the place now. He's famous for looks maxing. I don't know if you're familiar with this term. I've actually broken this down before. I didn't know what it was until very recently. I think we talked about this. So that's kind of like his whole shtick, right? So all of them decided to, like, I don't know, have a dude's night out and stream it or something. It's kind of fucking wild. They're at a club. Heil Hitler by Ye is playing. They're having a great time. I stand by it. I know it's not right. That song's fucking awesome. The lyrics, I wish they were different, but I'm just telling you, like, the song from a musical perspective is fucking great. So they're all hanging out. They're all having a great time. They got HH by Ye on. And there's girls everywhere, right? And this guy that I've never heard of that came out of fucking nowhere, clavicle. Literally something like that. I don't know. He's like, oh, there's girls here, and Nick's like, nah, I'm good, right? Like, I'm not interested in the whore at the club. And then later on, it comes up again. Like, Myron Gaines is like, dude, that hot blonde came right up to you. He was talking to you. He's like, I wasn't really paying attention. He was just, like, on his phone. So it has come up again. But I'm curious, like, why is it such a topic of conversation? Is it because it's so societally odd? Is it? I would say it's because it's Nick Fuentes.
Did you pick on your guy friends before they got laid? Like, I was like one of the last ones to lose my virginity in my friend group, and I got picked on a little bit.
Truthfully, not at all. I didn't really. I mean, no. I will say,
guys kind of roast each other is what I mean. It's kind of like a thing. It's like, yeah, well, at least, like, she fucks me. You got to go jerk off,
I think this would be okay. Like, here's where it's different, though.
If we were 15?
No, like, well, maybe. But, like, two buddies, like, kind of ragging on each other because, like, one's not getting laid or something. I kind of get. A national news post, like, the New York Post has an article, like, literally I have it. Awkward moment. Virgin Nick Fuentes is asked if he wants to party with girls at Heil Hitler Night Out. Is the headline from New York Post. Piers Morgan brought it up on his interview with Nick Fuentes. Like, well, how come you haven't had sex with a girl? Like, how come you care if I've had sex with a girl? And he used it to kind of, like, mock him a little bit, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Now, it's different if behind the scenes him and Piers Morgan are good friends and him and Piers Morgan are like, hey, why don't you go get laid? Like, that's a little different. To be public news, there's something there. There's something they're trying to do. They're trying to use it against him. They're trying to tear him down with it. They're trying to make him look less desirable. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what the psychology behind attacking him with his own chosen virginity is. Maybe it's to make him outcast, right? Because society now, like, how common is it for a 27-year-old male to be a virgin? I mean, of all things, Nick Fuentes might not be like...
Virgins don't exist, David.
Female virgins don't exist. I actually believe that. I think at a certain point, like, the idea that there's a woman who hasn't had sex is pretty minimal in the United States. It's got to be a low percentage. You would think. 25. Like, what percentage of girls who are 25 in the United States do you think are virgins? 10? Would 10 be high? 10 would be high, right?
Less than 1%.
You're saying less than 1%. I wonder if this is is this a statistic?
I'd wager that two-thirds of kids under 17 are having like some kind of.
Let's see. Let's see if this is like a known
Unless it's
metric or
gone down.
type.
I mean, now maybe it actually has gone down. No, I don't know.
I'm sure if we go to Brazil, they'd be able to tell us based on like the if they have running water and cable internet.
It's the craziest story we ever staggered upon. Other than the Chinese military base one, that was pretty good. Or predicting World War III.
Grox.
Oh,
Grox.
and all the COVID backlash. Like COVID's also. I heard Bill Maher came out against COVID and was citing some facts about them lying and twisting things, and yeah, it's about time they caught up.
Oh, here we go. The most reliable U.S. data on virginity defined as never having sexual intercourse. Thanks. Comes from CDC's National Survey of Family Growth, the NSFG, a large nationally representative survey. Now, keep in mind this is a survey, so it's not going to be an exact, right? Because you could lie or whatever.
It's a starting point, right?
Sure, it gives you a better idea than nothing. Older NSFG cycles from 2000 to 20 to around 2011, 2015, 2017 showed by ages 25 to 44, 2 to 3% remained virgins.
There you go.
And that was to be honest with you, we're talking 10 years ago. More recent data indicates a slight increase in virginity among younger adults. Huh, interesting.
Yeah, men, not women.
Adults.
I'd almost wager women went down in age and men went up in age of first sexual encounter.
Among women ages 22 to 34, which overlaps, 7% report being virgins in 2022, up from 5% in 13 to 15. So we're still, regardless though, like I said, if it was higher than 10, I'd be shocked, and it's not. And obviously that goes up as the age increases. Overall, for all women aged 25 and older in the United States, a group that includes everyone from 25 to 90 plus, the percentage who are virgins is very low, likely 2 to 5%. Now imagine this, okay? I actually, let me see. Let's see among men actually while we're here. I'm curious what that looks like. For young adult men aged 22 to 34, the percentage who are virgins rose significantly from 4% to 10%. Trends by broader context, contributing factors, economic pressures is crazy. Like, tell me, women don't want men for money. The fact that men have doubled their virginity because of economic pressures.
Over doubled, 4 to 10.
4 to 10, yeah, over double. So yeah, we're so 2 to 5% for women, and we're saying likely it's around 10% for men. So the high end of the women is 5, and the pretty standard metric for men is 10. So it's like double the chance you're going to be a virgin as a man. But break those numbers down a little bit. Like, if you imagine this.
Also, just now with that being said, imagine why Nick Fuentes is popular. And now imagine maybe why they care. Because there's not a famous female influencer that can preach about virginity.
Oh, there can't be many. I wouldn't imagine, except for that one OnlyFans girl who said she was a virgin.
If you're not virgin, you're not. If you're on OnlyFans, you're not virgin.
Well, if she's not having vaginal intercourse, Ryan.
I'm glad we're using terms correctly.
Maybe she just has a ton of anal.
That's still
1,000 men doing anal in one day. I'm a virgin.
Yes, still virgin.
I guess. Shagged by the definition, I suppose.
I just gave 2,000 guys hand jobs.
Watch me
A
gag on
whole
500 men in 24 hours. Like, yeah, I'm a
yeah.
virgin though. It's never went inside. Okay, all right. I guess I still have the ick. But yeah, no, great. Good job being a virgin. No, you're probably right though. You're probably 100% right. Like, name the famous virgin, uh,
Dude,
podcaster, famous
dude,
virgin.
think about why they don't care. This guy, they can't send a prostitute to fuck him.
They can't control him, Ryan. Interesting. No blackmail.
Dave, the two most powerful men in the Bible fell because of lust.
Mm. That's Now, see, that's a convincing point. I actually think that's interesting. Is that why? Because they know that
Dave,
typically.
that's really why. I'm reading it between the lines, but the idea, look, the other idea is that we're talking 1 in 10 men in a young age. Exacerbate that over time. Who's going to be the growing audience in this situation? Nick Fuentes, because I doubt virginity is going to go down in those men if economic pressures are the problem when things are getting harder.
That delayed marriage and cohabitation, housing costs, living with parents longer, reduced face-to-face interactions. That's a good point. Cultural shifts, including changes in dating dynamics and attitudes towards relationships. 100%. Yeah, 100%. You want
Yeah,
to talk
so
about?
as men get driven down in this hole, and let's be honest, these men that are living with their parents, they buy DLC skins for $5. They'll give Nick Fuentes $5 in Bitcoin for him to get up there and say the N word and be as powerful as they wish he was. And they will buy him as a DLC character, right, for his political speech, just like they buy a skin on Call of Duty. That's all you're doing. That's all they're doing. They'll never be Nick Fuentes, but they can participate with their DLC, which is downloading Nick Fuentes as their public persona. Be like, nope, I believe whatever Nick Fuentes goes on. That's why we're going to get into the influencer era of politics, because it's just going to be like, whatever that guy is, that's what I am. Whatever Joe Rogan is, that's what I do. Because before it was, you would turn it on, it was CNN and Fox News. Now CNN and Fox News is broken. The old media is dead. Now we don't know what to clutch to. I told Dave that Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy has a clothing line at Target. The only people that do shit like that are the Kardashians, celebrities, movie stars, actors, high performing artists, like cultural icons. So a podcaster is doing clothes. She's hot, but she's doing fucking clothes. So the metric of these growing metrics of the new medium is going to be these people. Nick Fuentes will be the downloadable character. People will send $5 in Bitcoin because that's how you pay him. So you pay him in a way, and you can buy shirts for whatever amount of Bitcoin it would be, but he buys Bitcoin because he can't have a bank account. So he's operating outside of the system and can't be fucking lured by his dick. Tell me he's not the most dangerous man in America. And he's not afraid to die. And he's willing to not have a family. He said, I don't want kids because what I'm trying to do would they'd have more leverage over me and I wouldn't be there for the kid. He said George Washington doesn't get a personal life. That's why they care. They're showing men that you can go without pussy and get very far in life. You can be a fucking cultural menace. You can say the N word. You can do the edgy things. You can do the successful things. He's got to have some kind of money. He hasn't had a job this long. Got thrown out of. He's told the story. It's never changed. Ben Shapiro tweets him. It's weird. Ben Shapiro didn't get mocked like he gets mocked, even though people respected Ben Shapiro for religious reasons.
Ben Shapiro gets mocked because his wife is dry. But that's
super dry.
His own admission, honestly. He didn't have to come out and tell us that. I mean, we
already knew. But
we already guessed, but he did come out and confirm for no reason, honestly.
Dude, if I ever try to slow down when I'm getting after, I just think about Ben Shapiro and I get dry too.
Crazy thing.
It's crazy.
I would have. Fuck, dude. If I was Ben Shapiro, I would have lied. Yep, she needs 2 buckets and 2 mops. No
Yeah, dude.
fucking way.
Write your name all over this.
Crazy.
You just lie.
Crazy. At least lie.
Dude, you got so much integrity, you're retarded.
Yeah, that's crazy. He really didn't have to tell us. He really didn't. Ryan,
I think, Dave, just to round out that point, the reason they care is they are psych profiling the people and the followers, and that's why they care. They print all these articles. I think at some point they print articles, David, just so that they can type it in AI algorithms and it's faster for them to search it up instead of look up your name, your number, your phone number, your social security. That shit all comes after almost. They can just like type in your social media profile, pull that up, and then kind of do a swipe before they go anywhere. But for these high profile people, this next wave of people that we're about to be, we're in the new Hollywood era here. New Mount Rushmore is getting crafted. A new like Secret Seven or fucking Delta Force of media and personalities is. So it's going to be very interesting. I mean, they're already picked. The 10 most popular podcasts was dropped. Rogan was up there. Call Her Daddy was like 2 or 3. Alexis Cooper, Call Her Daddy. Chris Williamson was like the 7th or 8th, I think. Andrew Huberman's up there. So a lot of good programs, But I would wager that probably after like 20 or 30, they fall the fuck off pretty hard. With that being said, yeah, Dave, I just think they're profiling these people. I mean, this thing is a psych operation. They are targeting Nick Fuentes, like as far as the social media score. I mean, is it unflattering for men to listen to a virgin? Because why am I listening to you about your political opinion? Because you don't get laid. Because honestly, when you talk to guys about getting laid, you tell them don't really bring politics up unless you're gonna like double down on that.
yeah.
Because it kind
Well, I'm going to play a clip. This is in Florida. And I guess, let me say this. If this is happening in Florida, this is Ron DeSantis' state, to, let's assume a nobody. I don't have any confirmation that it's anybody of any stature. So if this is going to happen in Florida to a nobody, just imagine nationally the type of things that are happening that you maybe don't even know are happening to people like Nick Fuentes. And if you want to talk about and tie this further into the virginity articles that are coming out, who knows? I mean, I'm just
picture to make sure it's you. We're not sure.
Okay.
So is that your account?
I refuse to answer questions without my lawyer present. So I really don't know how to answer that question
Okay.
either
Well,
way.
like I said, you're
I mean,
not going
this
to
is freedom
jail.
of speech. This is America, right?
And
We're
I-
veteran.
Correct. And I agree with you 100%.
All
We're
right.
just trying to see if it's you, because if we're not talking to the right person, we want to go see who the right person
Okay,
is.
how can I help you?
So pretty much it's just a statement that was made as far as,
Verbatim, it says the guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way. Even leaves the room when they vote and on related matters. Wants you to know that you're all welcome. Clown face, clown face, clown face. 3 days ago.
So you don't know if it was you?
I'm not going to answer whether that's me or not.
Okay.
The concerning part, and not concerning for the person who's posting it,
can't hide behind screen names, people.
somebody else getting agitated or agreeing with the statement. We're not saying it's true or not.
Understood.
That guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians, that can probably incite somebody to do something radical. That's all we're here to talk about. And we wanted to get your side. If it was you that posted that, I would think to refrain from posting things like that, because that can get something
I
incited.
appreciate your concern. I appreciate you coming out here.
Okay?
That's it?
That is it.
Okay.
I'm going to maintain my amendment rights to not answer the question about whether or not that's me. I hope that's
Thank you for your time.
understandable.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's crazy you have to say that you're exercising your right to free speech.
yeah. I mean that she was very nice about that. I'll just, to put it mildly, she was very nice about that because she entertained.
Jesus was very agreeable, David.
Super agreeable.
Super.
Because that conversation is quite different at my house. Because I'm telling you to get the fuck out. Who the fuck are you? Why are
Standing
you
in my kitchen
Why is this
asking me
fat
about my
fuck?
online post that may or may not be me
Yeah, that's what I'm
without
saying.
a
Like,
warrant.
yeah, get the fuck out of here. Why do I got this fat fuck in my house right now? And why are you standing with the door open? First of all, you're letting all my AC out. I'm in the middle of Florida. Fuck you. Get out. Like, what are we? You're wasting my time, our tax dollars. Like, get away. No.
It could incite somebody, David. It could incite
Yeah,
somebody.
well, you're inciting me right now with your presence inside of my house. Get the fuck out. There is no way I would have been as nice as she was. I just want to make sure this is you. I don't. No.
Can't hide behind screen names though. This is like the catch-22, right? You either sit on Reddit and talk shit and be a keyboard warrior, or you put your name out there like I have and you have, Dave.
We've talked about this. Anonymous accounts
Yeah.
are pathetic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it if it makes sense. Like if you're inside source, you don't get the shade, but 99% of people aren't doing that. But if you should speak. That's the reason you speak out and put your name out there is because as shitty as it is, when they target these people that are just being regular people like Nick Fuentes, back to him, he was just trying to live his life. The guy didn't do anything wrong to nobody. He didn't live a certain way. He wasn't doing unhonest things. He just wanted to be left the fuck alone. And America is filled, the whole history of this country, the premise of this country is people just wanted to be left alone. We're not telling you what to do. Don't ask me what to do. Hey, it's really not that hard. If freedom starts here in common law, it should go all the way across the board to all these other things. Anyways, you can't hide behind screen names. You have to double down. I know Alex Jones has to pay the GDP of countries, but the idea that will be in the history books, that's the trade-off. You become a martyr, right? Isn't that what it is? You become an icon. You become these very people that get shot and killed and stabbed. You become a Charlie Kirk. Like, you think Charlie Kirk's message got better or worse after he was assassinated? Like, as far as its potency and revenance and captivation and like I would argue that Charlie Kirk would have burned out in between this election that just passed and the next one. He wouldn't have had the same steam because it wouldn't be the same push as Trump.
I think you
Not
can
that
make a
it couldn't
strong
be
case, to be
possible.
honest with you. It's like, to your point, I remember being in the space while Charlie Kirk was alive and not talking about Charlie Kirk all that much. Like, I'm not saying that to be like disrespectful to Charlie Kirk. He was obviously a very well-known person in the space, but it's like,
He's powerful. Yeah, I'm not going to diminish that.
people have talked more about him in the past year than they ever would have the year before.
I mean, look, I'm all for going to college campuses. This is like the thing, like, I don't know if I've ever said, like, I've thought about doing it. The thing I realized, dude, is when you're at a college campus, it's their safe space. And I know you're supposed to be there for ideas, but dude, I will tell you the best place to test somebody's beliefs is after they've had 2 beers. Like it really is, bro. It really is. And I don't even care if it's on fucking camera because I am out here, change my mind in real life. And I know the internet's all, oh, you can make money. That's cool. Let Charlie Kirk get shot because like these people, a lot of them, they either fall apart, they flake away, or they just get like upset. They get emotional. Right? Like you can tell that like these things, and that's the problem. You go to their safe space, you're basically just walking into a coliseum filled with their fighters, and what you're going to take on the best transgender lawyer combo that's ever existed in Stanford's history. Good. Go do your thing. I'm glad he's doing it. It's worked. It's helped people. It's reaching young people. Fine. I agree. I 110% support it. But what are you doing to change fucking a 50-year-old who has money to like literally buy stock or buy a company or open a business and like change his life?
Or maybe even the whole election. I mean, for 50 grand.
Well, I mean, we tried that, Dave.
I mean,
Obviously.
Russia bought the whole election for 50 grand. Can you believe it? Get Rope said, don't answer the door to cops. Good call. Also said, one of the many reasons I don't drink. That's fair.
Do you legally have to answer the door for police?
I don't think so.
Rock this shit. I have to know this.
Wait, hold up. What? Like, how many times can you knock on my door without me answering before you're harassing me? Like, when do I get a claim?
I don't know. We should probably look into
Like,
this.
how long before I can say you're harassing me? Like, if you're not at my door with a warrant, I'm literally not answering you. And if you're at my door with a warrant, let me fucking read that bitch for a solid, I don't know, give me 5, like, to go through it. I was 100%. I was going to say their answer better be no. No, in the United States, you generally do not have to answer the door for police. Under the Fourth Amendment, your home is protected from unreasonable searches and seizures, of course.
Unless they offer a warrant.
Yeah, but if your house is on wheels and it's called a car, then they can stop you. Police can knock on your door. This is called a knock and talk, just like any other person can, but you have no legal obligation to open the door, speak to them, or even acknowledge them. You can remain silent, ignore the knock entirely. Nice. You can speak through a closed door, ask if they have a warrant without opening it. Opening the door or stepping outside can sometimes lead to complications. Plain view observations, giving implied consent. So many legal experts advise against it unless it's necessary. Police cannot force entry without a valid warrant, your consent, or extingent circumstances like emergencies or danger. If they claim to have a warrant, you can ask them to slide it under the door or hold it up to the window peephole so you can verify it. They aren't required to do this, but it's your right to confirm before opening. Okay, so like if you walk to my... this is where it gets so fucking...
So yeah, get fucked. So literally get fucked. I can literally tell a cop no. Or just ignore them and act like they don't exist.
Yeah, but for me, I gotta tell you, like that'd probably be the smart choice. But me,
you're not going to.
No, but for me, I'm opening that bitch and I'm gonna tell them to fucking leave. Like I can't. I'm not gonna sit there while you just knock on my door. Like get the fuck out. Who told you to be here? Yeah, see, this is the problem. Common advice from criminal defense sources: politely say through the door, "I do not consent to any searches or entry. I invoke my right to remain silent and would like to speak to an attorney." Do not argue, lie, or provide information voluntarily. Anything you say can be used against you. Yeah, I'm arguing all day long. If it's not an emergency,
I'm definitely having words used against me. I know they
we're
tell
debating
you
my Facebook
not
post,
to just shut. Yeah, I know they tell you to shut the fuck up, but at some point, with the first freedom, that is, I am going to say whatever I want. And you're a coward and should hang too, Mr. Police Officer, traitor to the Constitution. You're not gonna like that one, but yeah, I'm definitely. I know I have the right to remain silent. It does not mean I'm invoking this, and I expect my words to be used against me.
Great Ron White quote is, "Just because I have the right to remain silent doesn't mean I have the ability." If it's not an emergency or warrant situation, they usually have to leave or come back later, possibly with a warrant if they want inside. This applies across most states, though specifics like stop and ID laws vary slightly by jurisdiction. It's safe to assume silence and no opening unless clearly states it's an emergency or they have a warrant.
New York State has a stop and frisk.
This is why I love Grok. At the very end, it says, if this is a real situation you're dealing with right now, stay calm. Don't open the door unless you see a warrant and consider consulting a local attorney for advice. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Yeah, could you imagine, Gronk, the cops are here. What do I do? Well, you could.
Well, you could tell them to get fucked, but most judges and lawyers would tell you not to. Yeah,
Gronk says you can get fucked. Who's Gronk?
Shut the fuck up.
Gronk says shut the fuck up, you fat fuck.
It would be so hard for me to not. I would have to.
I gotta level with you. The last time that I had a run-in with a police officer, they asked me for ID, and I was like, no. I was like, you can't just ask me for ID in America. It's like, well, somebody called the cops and they were worried about you. I was like, that's great. I don't need to be worried about.
Just pretend I'm voting and you can't ask.
Jesus Christ. You got ID? No. You don't get to just ask me for... You don't get to ask me for ID. And later, It's funny because I got to speak to that person. I told him, I was like, do you know that cop like tried to like identify me and stuff? Yeah. I was like, do you know that like you can't just like call the cops on somebody walking down the street? Like that's not how that works in America. Like I know my rights. Like don't fuck with me, dude. Stupid. Haters gonna hate, dude.
Ryan, since we're talking about speech, where do you stand on defamation?
As far as
Well,
you really can't prove defamation. It's hard.
it's very
I
tricky.
will.
Sure.
I will reference Johnny Depp though.
Well, the problem
Because
with
that-
defamation is you don't have to show that somebody said something incorrect about you. You have to show that they had intent to lie about you, which
Malicious.
is super fucking tricky. And then after all that, then you have to try to justify like the damages, right? And then you like trying to figure out that amount is of absolute fucking nightmare. But the reason I ask,
I generally think, dude, look. I mean, I guess there's layers to everything. Public figures, I don't think you can get defamation unless there's like some kind of actual, like, if you lie about me and I lose a business deal, like, and even that like should be hard. The Johnny Depp thing, I'll go back to. That is obviously, what else can we call that but defamation? Like some things are very easy and relevant. Johnny Depp was a very clear cut case when you looked at it from a certain angle. At least from my perspective, I could see it. But it just, if you're a public official, if you're a politician, if you're like, no, like, I don't know if you can sue. I think you get less tolerance the more public you are. I think businessmen, not that they get a skirt around, but I think it would obviously be easier for them to care about defamation, but they may also get more protection against it. And that may be just their lifestyle. But I will say this, generally over and all, I don't think the people getting defamated are like the average citizen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that genuinely is happening. But I could be wrong. I'm ignorant to things. But, if we're talking like in the workplace or like things of that, I'm assuming without like real concrete evidence, recordings, things of that nature, it'd be even hard to prove. But I personally would need like that layer of sophistication. Like I would need you to like documentation or like consistent storylines, or there'd have to be like conveying evidence for me to be like, I think it's worth going after this person for the things they said. Like truly things. Now, with that being said, I have come on here call for the death of politicians openly, but I say that every time that it's within our Constitution. They violated the Constitution. They also took an oath to uphold it, and it would be done by the military tribunal in a legal, justice way. And I don't want that for anybody. But if that's the law, do the crime, do the time. But when it comes to like this private sector of you being able to harass everybody and we're all on social media and we're going to have a credit score, I think it's gearing more towards that. Defamation is going to be the engine that will drive the average, that will be the social credit score.
yeah, well,
Like
I guess the reason I bring this up, and I'm glad you said public figures because that's really more where I was going with this.
I mean, I don't really think like David. I mean, honestly, we've had 100,000 views nearly, at least on just one. I would consider us public figures. Like, I don't know if I have the same protection of photographs or paparazzi. Like, I don't actually know, but I think like I've said it on the program too. I don't think you can give me a fair trial because even if you get me for capital punishment or something, fucking treason. Okay, well, the guy shot 1,000 hours of podcasts with his belief on there that all the jurors can go on. All the people are going to be talking. Like I don't know if you can get away from that after a while. Like just because we're not famous on paper doesn't mean that the shit's not there to have gravity. You know what I mean? Like just because nobody's seen it, it was created and posted. It can be referenced. And then all it takes is 30 seconds. In this economy, all it takes is 30 seconds and you'll never not be famous again. And we're not trying for fame, David. I'm just referencing that, like, it kind of goes with this very idea of, like, public figures, you kind of like, as cool as it is like to create and be in the space and do all the shit, you kind of lose an autonomy. I can see why they get trapped by fame, right? Because like you don't really get boundaries and privacy because you kind of like gave yourself to other people the whole time.
Yeah. I guess the reason I bring this up is because I see this more and more. And I see it a lot in our own space, which is like the right wing culture, politics space, whatever you want to call it. And the most recent post I've seen similar to this is from someone named Jeremy at the Quartering. He is on Rumble and other platforms. But he said, "Here's." He plays a clip where he says people are falsely claiming that I promote Polymarket. And he says, and then Jimmy Dore is amplifying the lie. I would hope Jimmy isn't interested in knowingly promoting a lie, but perhaps the other guy wants to avoid a defamation lawsuit and then puts care to correct it, trying to like intimidate them into, changing their position, I suppose, in the threats of a lawsuit. And I just, something about, and I'm not saying defamation should be okay, but there is something to me that's a little off about people in our space who are so like steadfast, or at least allegedly steadfast, on freedom of speech that some of us will then in the same breath try to bring defamation lawsuits against people, where I get it, you should not be lying, and I'm not even saying that you should be allowed to lie because of free speech about someone's character. But at the same time, there is a little bit of like pathetic fragility in that. Like, it's like, dude, you're both public figures. Can you just hash this thing out publicly? Like, do you really need to bring courts and try to shut the guy up through defamation suits and shit? It's like NDAs and all this shit. It's all so, I don't know. It's just
High school.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, it's just very pathetic. I don't know. Something about it every time I see it bothers me. It's like we're supposed to be like the strong bastions, the big communicators for free speech. We're even talking about and bragging about it, and we specifically go and stream on Rumble because we love free speech and we love that Rumble believes in free speech. But then like we're so quick to be like, nah, this guy is wrong about me, so now I need to bring lawsuits against him. It's like I don't know. Something about it is just, it bothers me. Maybe I can't even explain it that well, but it does bother me at my core.
Yeah, I mean it's shifting in values. It's one thing to evolve. I think I've definitely evolved myself, David. I know like we both kind of like not fluid, but maybe non-binary. It's one thing to evolve, but it's another thing entirely to like. It's double speak, but for your values. It's double speak, but for your morals. It's like the guy that tells you to be loyal, but is cheating on his wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like be a good, that you got to be there for your, go be a good dad, but doesn't pay his child support. And there's a reason why hypocrites in that word, I'm sure that hypocrite and hippocampus are so close. I wonder why. Hypocrites is like, there's a reason why it's distasteful and gives you the ick. Like there's something in our biology that makes us not like congruency, and people that said one thing and become another. It's one thing to evolve, which is its own set of problems, and people have a problem adapting to your evolution, which is a different inherent thing we're talking about. But as far as like you actually saying, I believe in free speech, but the second that you're getting slacked, Dan Crenshaw, you want to sue Sean Ryan. I told you that guy was fake. I did also suck his D a little bit and said he was an awesome politician. And then I was like, but we gotta like, we'll see. And then it flicks. Time reveals all wounds, man.
A couple things, and then we got to talk about this Don Lemon church protest. The Epstein files are now 31 days overdue. The deadline mandated by Congress, and less than 1% of all of the Epstein files have been released so far by the Department of Justice. That should be surprising to nobody. With that said,
That's 1% more than I thought they'd release.
yeah. Well, 1%, but then that's not accounting for all the black bars, so it's really like 0.0000001%.
1/10 of 1%.
1/10 of 1%. No, why did I do that in the Trump voice?
As I do. It's the
it's
one 1/10 of 1%.
Bernie fucking Trump, apparently.
Bernie Trump.
Yeah, it's not surprising, but with that said, the longer it takes, and the more Shiver Me Timbers is fucking crazy. I'm assuming that's a Dan Crenshaw reference. That's kind of fucking funny.
Shiver me timbers. What, like a pirate? Scurvy.
The fuck out of here.
I'll always remember
Somebody
Jim Fallon said he looks like a guy in like a bad porno, or like a Captain Evil or Dr. Evil in a porno or something. And
like
ever since that, it's
I will say, like, someone should just creep up behind him and put a parrot on his shoulder, because that would be fucking classic.
parrot on his shoulder and a hat on him.
Just a fucking big old macaw.
What he should do to get ahead of it is like do the guy from SpongeBob, like be the just double down on it.
The fucking
who lives up? Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking the ghost pirate or whatever. What the fuck was his name?
Oh, he could do that.
Yeah.
Davy Jones.
No, that's where he sends all the people. He sends them to Davy Jones' locker. What the fuck was the ghost fucking
Davy Jones? Dave.
No, it's not Davy Jones. It's not. It's
Davy
like
Jones.
Now I got
Davy Jones locker.
Gotta grok it. It's green.
Yeah, he's Davy Jones, David.
No, it's not. It's not green.
Davy
Ghost pirate on SpongeBob. I'll find it. It's
if it's fucking Davy Jones.
It's not Davy Jones.
What is it?
Flying Dutchman. God damn it, that's what it is.
Oh,
yeah.
I meant that one.
Yeah.
Sure you did, Ryan. Sure.
Yeah, where the fuck was I? I don't even remember where I was, because we started talking about the fucking pirate
Dan Crenshaw, pirate.
Yeah.
Shiver Me Timbers.
No, the Epstein files. The Epstein files is not being released is not surprising. But with that said, the longer it takes to come out, the worse it looks for everybody involved.
That's funny.
Pam Bondi, they're on my desk. Perfect. Fucking Congress is like, cool, it's on your desk. This should be real quick. Legally fucking show us. And they're like, yeah, well, it's going to be a minute. It's like, what do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? Like, you just had them on your desk. Where the fuck did they go? Oh, they're not there anymore. What the fuck is going on? Is everyone in the file? Like, how long does it take to put black bars on the files? How many files are there? There are a million files? 31 days late, they've released less than 1% of the files. And of that less than 1%,
pretty short list.
Most of it.
Pretty short list, David, obviously.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. There's no list. There is no list. There are no files, right?
There's no list, but it's just taking us 31 days to get all the stuff together to release to Congress that we have to, by law, release.
That is actually fucking good. Like, just arrest these people. By the way, as predicted, I'm pretty confident nothing has happened with Bill or Hillary Clinton. They were legally mandated to show up. They didn't. And then nothing happened. So
also arrest these people. If Trump got arrested, why aren't we arresting people?
No, well, that's why it's so.
I watched them shoot and arrest that guy.
That's why it was so dangerous to pull that off. Like, because you're just opening the door for this now, right? Like this, the second you do that, the second you actually go after somebody, like a former president or a potential future president, now you know, like, you better be fucking clean, because like they're gonna come out. You've set the precedent. Now it's okay. I'm gonna come after you twice as fucking hard. But the fact they haven't,
You're gonna
the fact
come
the
twice
fu-
as hard, David.
yeah,
Pause.
for sure.
Pause.
Uh,
Nick Fuentes. You know who doesn't come twice as hard? Nick
Fuentes.
It's
Yeah,
weird. They're worried about that guy's fucking sperm count. It's pretty funny.
they really are. They're
Just
like,
makes me think he's a G. He must just be so legit that they're like, this guy doesn't even fuck.
he's like, fuck. How are we supposed to blackmail this guy?
Dude, there was drugs and women, and he likes God. Fuck, dude.
RFK Jr. He's got a clip. He's talking about Donald Trump's diet, and
How long's the clip, Dave?
he basically says he should be dead. It's not that important, but I thought it was funny. It's a minute. It's a minute. We got a minute, right?
Yeah.
Do we have a minute? Are you sure it's 51 minutes? We still have to talk about like the main thing. Are you sure we have time for this?
Of course. We'll
Not
make that.
It's not like that important, if I'm honest.
It's your main thing. I just hijacked about Nick Fuentes' ball sack.
Well, I think that's important too.
Nick Fuentes is not a virgin from me.
His ball sack is very important.
Who
Ball
has the most
sack, you say.
eating habits?
The president. The interesting thing about the president is that he eats really bad food, which is McDonald's, and then, candy and Diet Coke. But he drinks the Diet Coke all times. He has the constitution of a deity. I don't know how he's alive, but he is. And he's at Mar-a-Lago. He says that the only time that he eats the junk food is when he's on the road, and he wants to eat food from big corporations because he trusts it. He doesn't want to get sick when he's on the road. But when he's at Mar-a-Lago or at the White House, he's eating really good food. So I think you get this, if you travel with him, you get this idea that he's just pumping himself full of poison all day long, and you don't know how he's walking around, much less being the most energetic person any of us have ever met.
It's cocaine. Cocaine is how you're so energetic.
Well, he's got the original recipe Diet Coke.
That's why he drinks 12 Diet Cokes a day.
Well,
It's called Diet Coke because we removed all the sugar and replaced it with cocaine.
Diet Coke, truthfully, is the fucking worst. Dude, all those diet drinks are so much worse for you than regular. Now, I don't know
what to believe. They say glass has more plastic in it than fucking plastic. Okay, I don't know what to believe. I was shining my headlights on the snow earlier. My high beams in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
We were a little blizzardy up here. You know how they tell you to never put your high beams on in a blizzard?
Yeah.
It helped me. It was like the snow reflected. It was like plastic.
It depends how it's falling, because sometimes
plastic snow is the only explanation. I will not take anything
I'm not even
less.
saying that. I'm just saying, like, sometimes when you have the high beams on, and it's like dark and snowing outside, sometimes all you can see is like the snow flying at you, and it makes it hard to find the road.
Yeah, it's for people. I say it lately now that I'm older. I look around when it's all shitty. I was like, why did we fucking move here? Like, what? Who in their right mind was like, you know what? After a good winter here, they're like, I'm staying.
Okay, well, to be fair, your people came from Ukraine, and it snows like a motherfucker there.
This was actually the same climate, David. So yes.
Yeah, so it's not that crazy. And my family came from Germany and Italy, so I mean,
soft humans, clearly.
Soft humans. We were my people were so close to just taking over the whole world. I'm just saying.
Your people, so you're a Nazi, David? Is that
no? The Germans, Ryan. The Germans. And the Italians.
All Germans are Nazis?
The Italians did pretty good too. The Roman Empire was crazy.
Romans are not Italian, but
They're
I will
Italians.
let you have this. I will
listen.
They're
Wow,
not
like you're going to tell me, oh, Sicilians are different too. They're just black Italians.
They're black Italians.
They're just black Italians. Speaking of black Italians, Don Lemon has
You mean gay?
Apparently.
Is that black Italians is gay?
Apparently, he was instrumental in a ICE protest at a church. It disrupted the whole church service. This is a really messy story. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to play a couple different things, and we'll just try to hash this out quickly because it's all very strange. It's also all so gay.
Lord, safe in your house. The safe you want to get your house in order. That is correct.
Renee Gunn! Renee Gunn! Renee Gunn! Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are your people? Why are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity, standing for our people? Where are you? You drink your coffee, you got your jewelry, you have your nice clothes, but what do you do? What do you do to stand for your Somali and Latino communities? I'm not going to comment. You have no comment, exactly.
I don't need to play the whole fucking thing. So
I'm confused. So why they went there? Why did they target this church?
Well, that's a great question. Like, what does the church have to do with fucking anything at all?
So you don't know. They just went to a church and caused a problem?
This is all very much unfolding.
Okay. How old is this story today?
Today, yeah.
Okay, so they went to some church.
Yeah.
Disrupted the service.
Yeah.
Where this woman is from that got
shot
shot
by the ICE officer. Yep.
the ICE officers in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going there to hold people at church and asking them what they're doing for their Somalian community.
I guess. Which, by the way, can we acknowledge that we have different communities?
Yeah, I'm literally told that they're special because they're black.
I am not part of the Somali community. I don't know why you would ask me. But I have any comments about my Somali? I'm not in the Somali community. It's like it's very weird. It's a super weird question.
And Don Lennon from CNN is there?
Yeah, is he still at CNN though? I don't even know if that's true.
Or he's got his own shit.
He's got his own thing because all the people at CNN, I think, got fired.
Oh, don't go to Rumble. It's dumb. Don't podcast. It's dumb. Hey, CNN fired me. I got my own podcast on Rumble, guys. Come watch me.
Oh, it's super weird. So here's Don Lemon's take on the situation, and then we're going to get into where it gets even a little bit weirder.
There's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%, but it's an intimidation tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America. And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are.
But you're entitled to have your opinion because you're a gay black man in America.
It sounded like I think I've explained this before, but the chat is quite a bit away from me on a TV, so it's not always the easiest thing to read. Getter Up says that sounds like duh woke farmer. Is that a real thing? Is that what it is? I like him. I'm sure with a name like duh woke farmer, he's fucking awful. By the way, what in the fuck kind of take is that about the history of this country?
You know, David, what's crazy is like it's like the whole Christian white male thing, and to a certain degree, it's kind of correct because it was Christian white men that like set the thing up. Like that's what's crazy. It's like you're binding them by the times, but at the time, the thing that did the thing was what you're saying did it. Slave owning, rich, Christian white males were like, no, we're changing history.
He's a combat
Like
veteran, apparently.
like that's what made it dope. But like to go further, like so Don Lennon seems justified to talk about Somali immigrant because he's a gay black man from CNN.
Oh, that sounds privileged.
But he talks about entitlement on other people. But he makes more money than 99.9% of Americans.
That's a great question. What are you, Don Lemon, doing for the Somali community? What are you doing for Renee Good's community?
If anything, he has more resources to do the shit for the Somali community. So, like,
Yeah,
back
how
to
many millions?
entitlement, you're acting awfully entitled for somebody who has the time, money, resources, and energy to actually do the thing that you're shaming me for not doing.
Surely Don Lemon has publicly donated like $1 million for this Renee Good stuff, right? There is no public record or report indicating Don Lemon has donated any money to Minneapolis or directly to the Renee Good shooting case. See, I feel like you have enough money. You could probably do that.
Well, that's entitled, Dave. You're entitled to his money.
What about the Somali community? Is he donating money to the Somali community?
Well, he's gay and black, not Somalian.
It's
It's
just
crazy
something
we got
about
all these communities. We forgot that the community is fucking Americans. Like we're all Americans. Like I don't really get. I know like this is naturally what happens with some like immigrants. Like our families did it here in Buffalo and everywhere else too. It's just is different because there's no social media to talk about it, and we all have history in our pocket. But I understand you come here, you have your community, you all talk, you all do your thing, you start getting jobs, your kids, you have kids here, they go to school, they're first generation Americans, they integrate a little bit, they have kids, they integrate more, third generation, it's like they never like I get it. I'm third generation, I understand it, but we're all fucking Americans. I'm tired of the shit. I'm tired of the end fighting. I know it's to tear my country apart. And it was Christian white males that freed the fucking country. I don't care. I'm not sorry about it. I'm proud of it. It's not that they were white nationalists. If they were racist and all that shit, I think they're bound by their times more so than their character. And I'm tired of it. I know this is a
Well,
systematic attack.
can we also just real quickly comment on Don Lemon's idea that the reason this country was founded was so people like his words was, well, they left England to come here and create religious liberty. But he says it in a way like that's the entire reason this all happened.
They were being fucking killed for their religion, weren't they? They're being persecuted. They were being shut out of the markets. This is what's crazy. You think a bunch of people got on a boat that may or may not make it and sail through the big ass ocean to maybe go to the new world to start a new life in a place you've never met and leave your whole life behind. There's perfectly fine civilization right here, but you're going to get on a boat and go, whoop. Has to be a pretty big why. That's a pretty big why.
The other aspect of this that is outbreaking, this is, I will say, this is comedy at its finest. The DOJ has announced from the situation, and again, just to be clear, just like nothing has happened with Bill or Hillary Clinton or anybody in the Epstein files, just like nothing has happened with the people who, were implicit in stealing an election. Just like nothing has happened with really any of these high-profile people. The DOJ has announced an intention to charge Don Lemon under the Ku Klux Klan Act. The KKK Act makes it illegal to threaten, hurt, or intimidate people to prevent from exercising their God-given rights. Hermeet Dillon says, quote, "The Klan Act is one of the most important federal civil rights statutes. It's a law that makes it illegal to terrorize and violate the civil rights of citizens. Whenever people conspire this, the Ku Klux Klan Act can be used."
So civil liberties meaning me practicing worship and you come and disrupt it.
Correct.
Because just like you have the right to protest and redress your government for grievance, I have the right to practice my religion.
Correct. And what you don't have the right to do is trample other people's rights. Just to be clear. Like, that's that. I think this is a pretty clear statute of time throughout the history of this country, is just because you say have the freedom of speech, you can't use the freedom of speech to take someone else's civil liberties away.
Yeah, like you can't be a dick,
Well, you could be a dick.
but you're going to get hit with it.
Yes. So, yes, you can protest outside the church in public, but you can't stop other people from practicing their religion. It gets in. I think it gets into. It starts to get tricky territory, though, if I'm honest. But, you know, again, you have the rights to your, you know, your properties, your, you know, whatever it may be, but you don't have the rights to infringe on other people's rights. So I think that's a pretty clear through line.
Well, are we expecting this to be something, or do we think this is a distraction from something else?
Nothing will happen.
Well,
still waiting on that contempt of Congress for Bill and Hillary Clinton. Let me know when that happens.
well, it's day 10,999 since the government admitted that they're fucking kids, as always. Oh, I heard something that was a good point. If there was no data collection, Silicon Valley right now in our economy, we'd be in a recession. So you wonder why Trump gave a fuck about AI. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble. Only podcast left in human history. As always, David, I appreciate you the most, and I'll see everybody very soon.
Thanks, everyone. Get her up real quick. Yeah, they were told to leave. Thanks.